Nothing is more annoying than losing your keys. This is especially true if you're into everyday carry, and so in this video I'm going to be covering a variety of tools to help you retain your keys physically on your person. It's my goal in this video to take a cursory look at a number of keychain fobs of various sizes and designs that either attach to a belt loop or to your belt itself. I'm trying to look at examples of things that are in regular production. That is, you could go and buy this after looking at this video, so I'm excluding Kickstarter projects. Okay, let's start with the big end of this comparison. This is the Black Diamond Freewire Quickdraw Carabiner set. These are wire gauge carabiners with a nylon dog bone in the middle. Black Diamond is a great American company. This item in particular was 3.5 ounces. It's a quick draw that's obviously normally used for climbing, but I've seen it repurposed by everyday carry guys who carry a lot of keys and I want that kind of level of security. I've also seen people take the dog bone and use smaller carabiners with it, and I think that's also a good option. Didn't include any lock gate carabiners in this comparison. I really find that to be overkill in my opinion, and this is very large, as you can see. This is really only a good choice if you have very large pockets or very low seating pockets. I tried to wear a pair of pants that had almost vertical cuts so you could see how deep these keychains are going to sit. This is really a choice for like the hardcore prepper who feels like he needs to have some sort of retention system on his person. It's not really my favorite choice. If you're looking for belt retention and you want something very secure, the Maxpedition Keyper is a great choice. This is also relatively cheap at under $10, and what it utilizes is a quick belt attachment with Velcro along with an alloy snap hook. So basically, I found this to be a very effective choice when I know that I need to keep my keys secure on me and don't want to have to worry about the possibility of tearing my belt loop. There's an extra piece of Velcro on the inside of this that I don't really understand, and it actually has been taking off some of the hide of my belt when I'm using it. Maybe someone can explain what that piece might be there for. But basically, this is a solid choice if you don't mind that large Maxpedition banner, which I think is kind of obnoxious. As far as the claw hook, it has strong retention. As you can see, it's painted, and so I've definitely been losing paint. It works well with something like an aircraft cable, as you can see here, if you want your keys to be sitting deeply in your pocket. As I said before, I think the biggest ding I have about the Maxpedition is that you do have that large banner branding tag on the outside of it. It just draws your eye to that. As far as how deeply it seats in the pocket, of course with a pair of jeans it's going to seat very deeply in the pocket, but with a pair of khakis I do usually find I need some additional kind of cable or hook or something to get it to fit. In summary, the Keyper is one of the most secure options and one I would gladly take on outdoor trips. If you're going to use a carabiner as a clip, using one that has some multi-tool functionality built into it's a good idea, and the Leatherman cap lifter Sidekick is one of the better versions that I found out there. The wire clip has strong retention. It's got a nice little bottle opener. That open spot is for holding bits, or I suppose you could put certain things in there to pry. You've got some jimping there to give you some traction for opening those bottles. It's an average size clip. I don't really care for the polish on it. It's just kind of cheap and is going to get scuffed up. Another option is the Nite Ahhh carabiner. This is an S carabiner style. The retention in the clips is not as strong. They're just a little bit softer, but the whole clip is overall a little bit smaller, and I guess it's a good option if you feel like you're going to need 2 bottle openers. Now the most elegant of the bunch is the Corter leather and cloth belt loop key hook. Now this is an interesting in-house design and is manufactured basically throughout different locations in the United States. You've got a New England design. It's cast in California. This is the Pewter version. And then it came with a nice copper O-ring that is made in Montana. And altogether, this thing is very nice. Has a very solid, robust feel. It did come with a stamped leather tab. It looks like it's some kind of vegetable tan. Definitely a nice piece of leather, but I have no interest in putting my information on my keys, and the way that I'm carrying this, which is hanging it around my belt loop, the tag was actually kind of sticking out. So here's one look of how it would be on your belt loop. It works very well. It's very quick to draw it from that, and you can hang it from your pocket too. Now, aircraft cables have a variety of uses with EDC gear. You can actually use them to hold your keys. You can use them as a fob. You can use them to retain your keys to, for example, a belt loop. Now, this is the Vigilant Gear aircraft cable. They're available at Amazon for $6 for a 2-pack, so they're fairly expensive, but the knurling on them is really good, and they have very deep threads. So I've not had any trouble, without using any blue Loctite, having any problem with these ones loosening up. I think they're probably the best cable key rings that I've seen on the market at this point. They're very solid. When I received these, the braid middle was actually a little rough, but they've smoothed out pretty well. And in one of them, I've actually put a little crease in it just so that it sits consistently in my pocket. When it comes to actually holding keys, the most convenient device I've seen is the Nite Infini-Key. This is an interesting combination of a carabiner clip and a stainless steel ring. Basically, you have a split ring anymore with this design, but you can still slide your keys securely around the carabiner shape into that lower portion, and seems to hold the keys very securely. For me, this has been a very useful device because not only does it possibly hold the keys and does so in a very quick way, it gives a nice amount of extension so that you can set your keys deep inside your pocket with some of the other retention devices that I've been looking at in this video. Now, the Infini-Key doesn't work very well as a standalone item in my opinion, even though you could use the carabiner to clip to your belt, just because it's kind of short, but coupled with other devices, I think it's very effective. If you're not interested in using any kinds of extensions, the friendly Swede has a very useful Paracord key fob. This comes with another wire carabiner, very nice retention, nice strong spring snap, and then it also comes with 6 feet of 350-pound paracord, which is attached very neatly and very tidily to the carabiner. In addition to that, it does come with a split ring. Now, I don't care for this style of split ring, but I found they're extremely easy to swap out with some of the other items that I recommended. So I've actually switched the split rings with the Nite Infini-Key and have been very happy with this setup. Of course, you've got paracord sticking out of your pocket, which in some office settings wouldn't really be very formal, but it's a good alternative to wearing one of these things on your wrists. As you can see, without any kind of extension, these fobs will sit deep inside your pocket, and they also work just as something to easily grab in the hand. One storefront which I think is sometimes overlooked for everyday carry items is Etsy, and these are 2 key fobs that I purchased from Etsy by the Lindock Bag Co, which is based out of Madison, Wisconsin. Very interesting little company that uses recycled textiles and salvage vintage materials to create handmade goods. You're looking at a recycled canvas key fob here. Very, very nice craftsmanship. That's genuine brass hardware, it appears. And the leather key fob is with a hand-hammered rivet, which looks fantastic. And the brown recycled leather is a full grain leather and has a ton of character. These only cost $12 a piece, and in my opinion, the quality is as good as any of the other key fobs that I was looking at for this video. Now, they are on the smaller side, but to some that would be a preferable thing. So usually with this key fob, I would use a wire cable holding my keys or some other similar extension, and they would sit very deeply in my pants. I'm just wearing standard GAC khakis in this video, if you're wondering. And these are a very nice, discreet key fob to attach to your belt loop, if that's the kind of system that you're looking for. Overall, I've been very happy with these. At this point, I've shown you over 10 things, but I haven't given you 10 suggestions. My 10th suggestion is one that probably is going to be very popular with the hardcore knife guys. But if you carry a knife in a tip down position, you can use that lanyard hole to attach your keys to it. If you use like a carabiner style clip like the Infini-Key, you can easily remove it and have just one big thing that you're sticking in your pocket. Well, at any rate, I hope you enjoyed this mad dash through a variety of key fobs. I'm interested in hearing what you use. What works best for you? Are you concerned about losing your keys? Do you have a way of retaining them that you think is effective? Please feel free to comment, leave your suggestions and your ideas. I'd be happy to make a second follow-up video based on what I hear. In the meantime, thanks very much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you haven't, and please check out some of the other videos that are linked in this end card.